Welcome to the Third Gen Workshop. If you like our videos, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button. Today's video is all about replacing the factory K-Member on a third gen Camaro or Firebird with an aftermarket tubular K-Member. In this video, we're going to talk about the UMI Performance K-Member. In general, these weigh 20 to 30 pounds less than the factory K-Member, and they provide additional strength and rigidity to your car. They are also a perfect fit if you're swapping out to an LS or an LT motor, and they provide additional clearance for both short and long tube headers. Without any delay, let's get into the video. I have already pulled the motor and transmission out of this car, as you can see from this video, and we've already dropped the factory K-Member out. So I'm not going to be talking about that. Today we're going to be talking about the replacement tubular K-Member. In this case, this kit is from UMI, Detroit Speed, BMR. They all make good products, but I went with the UMI kit in this case. We're going to go over a few things in this kit that they don't really give you good instructions for. You will need from the factory K-Member these brackets on both sides. These will attach to the tubular K-Member, and then this will attach to the frame. Keep the bolt from the frame because you will need that, but the new system, the new package comes with replacement bolts to mount up to the tubular K-Member. Now, I've already had this on and I've taken it off because I wanted to create this video and talk about the K-Member. The instructions do not tell you what is the front and the rear. So if you've never done one of these, you might spend a little bit of time kind of figuring that out. So this is the rear, and this is the front. The higher side is the front. The way you can definitively tell, I don't know if the video will capture it super well, but there's a peg on the top of the K-Member on both sides. This peg will mount up into your car right here on both sides. There's a bolt that goes there, the peg goes right there. And then your brackets will get bolted in right there. So here's your 1 original, 2 original bolts, 3 original bolts. And the kit does come with new bolts to mount these in. And then your pegs go here. There are a couple different variations that you can get from these kits. And the core variation is if you're going to run coilover springs or if you're going to run the factory coil springs. I'm not quite ready to install coilovers just yet. So I'm going to stick, I have a Elbach lowering springs, so I'm going to stick with those. So in that case, I bought my kit with the A-arms that have the factory spring coil mount. And then it comes with this component, which will mount up underneath once everything gets bolted in place. So this is the top of the spring. These go in after you've already got part of this K-Member installed. You'll install the back bolt and the front bolt to hold everything in place, and then these will install second. The kit comes with new bolt hardware for your control arms to mount up to the K-Member. It also comes with new bolts for the K-Member, 3 of them. Again, keep the one factory for the bracket that you've taken off. And then the control arms come with all of the other hardware you need for your sway bar, links, and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, we're going to install the K-Member into the Camaro. I can do this by myself because I have a lift and some support jacks, but generally you would need 2 people to do this. All right, I don't have any bolts in place just yet, but that will come next. Again, there is where it mounts up into the frame. There's the back bolt there. And then this one lines up on the back, middle, front again. I'm up in that channel with that little notch. And then your frame brace will connect up in. Now I'm not going to torque this down to torque specs. I'm just going to get it snug. We're putting the suspension back together and everything so I can get this car off the lift and get it over to the body shop for paint. Once it comes back from paint, then we'll lower this all out. We're actually going to install the motor from the bottom of the car up, and at which time we'll add the motor mounts to this K-Member. So we'll do a different video down the road on installing the LSX motor mounts, and getting everything torqued down to spec. But today we're just going to get the K-Member mounted up. We're going to get the control arms on, and then we'll start assembling. After that, we'll start assembling the front suspension. We've got the back bolts in on both sides of the K-Member. And we've got the front bracket bolts in as well on both sides. Now, I'm going to leave this a little bit loose because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the top mount for the coil springs in. These just fit up just like that, and they'll line up with those bolt holes, and we'll bolt them in place. Now I've left a little bit of slack on these bolts for adjustment. I haven't wrenched them all the way down yet, but the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install these right into place. The notch, step notch goes towards the back on these cars, just like that. The bolts are in. We just gotta line everything up now and tighten it all down. Put it in the passenger side the same way, just like that. We'll get the bolts installed, and then on to the tighten them all the way down. We got the bolts in on both sides. We're gonna go and tighten everything down. Again, we're just gonna get it all nice and snug. We're not gonna put a lot of force on it. We're not gonna put a lot of, we're not gonna torque it down to specs, because when this goes to paint, they're gonna drop everything anyway. So with no motor, no drive line in here, there's no reason to torque this all the way down today. So we're gonna finish just tightening all these 8 bolts down, and then the 4 bolts that hold the bracket in place so it's all secure. And then next we'll talk about installing control arms. Thanks for joining us on 3rd Gen Workshop. If you like this video and want notifications of upcoming releases, please hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have a great day.